What is up guys, Jack Gardiner here in my little makeshift studio in Switzerland, and today I'm going to be walking you guys through some of the tones I've managed to create in Neural DSP's new plugin Archetype in collaboration with Plini. Now if you guys aren't familiar with who Plini is, then I would seriously suggest you go and check out his stuff after this video. Plini is an amazing Australian prog, rock, metal, fusion style guitarist of the highest order, and he's a lovely dude as well. Great composer. Yeah, his stuff blows me away. Highly recommend checking him out. Basically, him and Neural DSP have worked together to create this awesome new plugin. It's literally blowing me away how good this thing sounds. So what I'm going to do is show you that it's not just for prog rock and metal. There's all kinds of tones we can get from this. It's seriously so versatile. So yeah, let's dig in. I'm going to walk through how I created them and basically how they sound. I'll give you a little demo of each one. So yeah, let's dig in guys. Let's take a look then at what we've actually got in the plugin at first. So we've got a compressor and an overdrive pedal. These two things sound wicked. We've got 3 amps, we've got a clean amp, we've got a crunch amp, and then we've got a high gain amp. Oh, that needs a noise gate on that. But yeah, basically we carry on then, we've got a 9-band EQ, and then we've also got our cabs in here, which I'm actually not using on this preset at the minute. We'll go a little bit more in depth on that as we go through them. And then in the last section then, we've got our delay and reverb, both of which sound phenomenal. You'll hear in a second. So the first preset I want to walk you guys through is basically a kind of like neo-soul kind of tone. If I give you a quick demo of how that sounds, then I've got something like this. So yeah, what's going on? I've basically got the compressor on. That's giving most of the tone, you know, keeping it nice and even. I'm using the clean amp here with the bright switch engaged, and I've just boosted a bit of the low ends and the mids to get that wannabe arch top kind of sound. We've not got a cab sim on this. I'm actually just boosting some of the low end and a bit of the low mids basically to give us that, again, faux arch top type sound. If we move on then, there is a delay on that. Very small low. It's not very wet. And I've got quite a big reverb. We all know how much the Instagram guitarists like reverb. Just kidding, just kidding. So yeah. Basically, that is my kind of neo-soul sound, shall we say. If we move on, the next preset I'm actually using then is, let's look at this funk rhythm tone. So here again, pretty compressed, you know, to fit in with the style, I guess. We've basically got a lot more top end, I think, in this one. Oh, maybe we're not. No, I'm just chatting. What's a bollocks? But yeah, again, very snappy. compressor basically there is acting so that in funk we get a lot of this kind of single line, you know, like staccato based stuff. This really helps it to just pop. If I turn it off a second, you can hear the difference. It's actually peaking loads if I do that. So we're getting still a lot of the attack, you know. Like I say again, it's a clean amp. EQ is boasted again, similar to the Neo Soul type tone. And then here I've actually got no delay. I've just got a little bit of reverb just to give me a bit of a wetness, shall we say. We move on then. So another tone which I'm using here is actually like a spacey type clean thing. If I give a little quick demonstration of how that sounds, again with single coils, this sounds just lush. You're getting very much this kind of tone. So that is essentially just a huge reverb. We can see that the space is set all the way up and the time's really, I guess 12 o'clock, it's really wet. There I am actually using the cab sim. I'm using basically a dynamic 421. And that's it, yeah, it's just dead center. EQ wise, I've actually boosted the top end a load just to give it that nice little bit of shimmer and sparkle, I guess. You can hear top end there. Which sounds really nice. Clean up again. I've actually cut some of the mids this time. Yeah, just to help with the top end sparkle, I guess. And then the compressor is actually on, yeah. Just about halfway. Just making sure everything's nice and snappy. Sounds lush. Yeah, let's move on then to some of the higher gain tones that I use. Now, I'm not a massive high gain guy, to be totally honest, but I will use kind of crunchy sounds. Maybe we look at a rhythm tone that I've got first, this snappy rhythm tone here. So this is using actually now the crunch amp. I'm not using any compression or any of the overdrive at all. I'm using this amp here, which has got a bit of top end boosted. The presence is turned up a little bit. I'm a massive fan of just screaming tops, as we'll see a bit more in a minute. EQ wise then, this is totally flat. I haven't used a 9-band EQ here. I'm actually using a 57 on this one. It's just slightly away on the edge. And then, yeah, just a bit of reverb, I think, yeah. Which is actually set quite high. You can hear it there, a modern tone. But yeah, that's mainly for kind of crunchy kind of... Nice and spanky. Yeah, really spanky, I guess, at the top end. We move on to another tone which I've created then. This is one which I absolutely love. I've labelled this woman tone. It's just got a bit of a Clapton quality, I guess, to it. A bit more bluesy. I've actually put on the delay here then, seeing as this is kind of like a lead patch. And I have, again, loads of reverb, as you'll see. It's still the crunch amp. I've just, I guess, boosted the mids a little bit. Presence is still quite high, bright touch is still engaged. Again, no compressor, no overdrive. And in terms of the EQ, I've just boosted the mid-range a little bit, I guess, and a little bit of the top. See what you guys think of this. I absolutely adore this tone. It also works really nicely when you roll off a bit of volume from the guitar itself. This is what I love about this plugin. It still kind of keeps the characteristics. Some plugins, when you roll off the volume, you get that kind of feel that it's a VST, it's not an amp. This still responds really nicely. Check out this. Sounds really pretty. We move on, there's a similar tone which I've actually called Roll Me Off for that exact reason. Again, very similar, it's just got a bit more gain and I'm actually engaging the overdrive pedal here. I mean, it sounds really cool even when you don't roll the volume off. It's just got a bit more oomph to it. We can shred a bit more. I'm actually using two mics on this one. I'm using a 57 and then I'm using a ribbon mic. This is kind of a standard mic setup, I guess. Again, delay and reverb are pretty wet. See what this sounds like. So. Still not loads of gain, but it's enough. But where the beauty is when it, again, like I say, rolling it off, that's the whole point of this. So we get this kind of sound. Sound. It's got a lot of grit. I really like it. We move on then. So the last one I've kind of got on here then is high gain Pearson top. Now, like I said before, I'm not really a guy that uses loads of distortion or gain, but this one, if I want to bring out the shreds, I will definitely use this tone. Now, Pearson top, I've called it that. I'm a massive fan of when all notes scream. So that means sometimes nasty frequencies being boosted. I've basically got the top end up here. This is on the high gain amp, the bright switch is engaged. Gain's actually set quite low. I feel like there's way more gain than we actually need on this amp. Yeah, presence is boosted a tiny bit. Let's just walk through then. I'm actually using the overdrive pedal just for a bit of tone in front of the amp. That's really common to use. EQ wise then, I've took out a lot of the low end because this is like a lead patch. We don't really need it in there. You see a tiny bit of the mids and then it's all in the top end, I guess, where this comes from. Mic wise, yeah, it's the same as the last patch, 57 and a ribbon 160. And then loads of delay and loads of reverb. Let's see how that sounds. This should scream, it should shred. Yeah, you get the idea. I will not use that as much as I'd actually like to, I guess. But yeah, that's the shred kind of patch. It's got way more gain than you actually need, I guess. But again, it sounds the tits. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed some of those sounds that we've just gone through then. They are, like I say, some of the presets that I've came up with myself. If you're interested in the product, please do head over to neuraldsp.com. You can actually get a 14-day free trial of the plugin. Like I say, I can't emphasize enough just how versatile this thing is, and for the price as well. It's a bargain. It'd be silly not to get it. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, all of those kind of things. There'll be plenty more content on this channel in the future. That's it from me, guys. Signing out. Until next time.